As I travel North America doing consulting and sitting in on live sales presentations, by far the #1 chief complaint by salespeople, sales executives, and business owners is the magnitude of people who blow appointments with them. From not showing up to hiding behind a wall, from staying behind and letting the gatekeeper handle things, to the kiss of death tactics that many clients and prospects use across the board. It is rampant out there. But I am here to tell you that if you will earn the right to the appointment, that you can certainly affect the appointment. So today what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you the 8 key critical steps in logical progression and a logical order that will help you gain appointments and earn appointments, and more importantly is prevent what I'm about to share with you. Just yesterday I had traveled to a city here in northern United States, north central United States, and I was with a salesperson whose company has invested a lot of money in this person for coaching and counseling. And it was pretty interesting what happened on the first appointment of the day. So we get in the car at the hotel. We're leaving to go on the appointment. We have about a 20-minute drive or so, and so the salesperson, last time when I traveled with him, he didn't have a GPS, so a lot of paper, for addresses, MapQuest, all that kind of stuff. So he proudly pulls out his Nuvie, he puts his address in into the GPS, and away we go. So we drive for about 20 minutes, and we show up at the prospect client's office, and we pull in. Everything looks great. And when we walk in, the person that we ended up speaking to says, I'm sorry to tell you this, however, you're in the wrong location. The location that you should be is one of our, we have 3 locations. You need to be at this one that is 30 miles away. And needless to say, the salesperson was a little bit embarrassed, obviously, but we recovered. We called the decision maker with this client, and he could still see us, but it took us about 45 minutes to get over to his office. And so what I'm about to share with you with these 8 steps will prevent that from happening, and it will keep you tight, it will keep you precision based, plus it will give you tactical advantages over your competing salespeople. So the 8 steps in order, okay, and I'm just going to give you a little bit on each one, and I'm going to direct you to a full-blown article that has all the specific steps in it, and it's free, and you'll be able to access that, and I'll give that information to you at the end of the video. So step 1, here we go, is whenever you get that data, wherever it comes in, warm lead, cold lead, however you source the information, the first thing that you should do is make an Outlook contact folder for that individual and load up as much information as possible and load that into that Outlook contact folder. The second step that you do is, prior to making a phone call to set an appointment, you're going to do something that is very different than your competitors who pick up the phone and call. I want you, as long as your sales cycle is okay, I want you to send 2 mail pieces to the client before you ever make a phone call. I want them through mail, not email, but through mail, to get a little bit familiar with you. So you ask, what do you send them in the mail? Well, it's pretty simple. All my students send a what we call a positive first impression book, which is a Jim Rohn Treasury quote book. Okay, we send in a little bit of information on the product, just a little information on the service or the offering, whatever it is, and we send a little bit of information on the salesperson. We want the prospective client or prospect to know who that salesperson is. So when that phone does ring, they're a little bit familiar with them. So step 2 is to send 2 mail pieces. My process, it's 7 days apart. So the Rohn book goes out first, and then some flyers come in behind it. That's a 7-day window that we do with the client. If your sales cycle is shorter, then send the Rohn book or something distinctive ahead of time, and then within a day or 2 or 3 days, send another marketing piece, and then maybe on the 5th day is when you make the phone call to set the appointment. So there's your first 2 steps. 1, Outlook. 2 is to send 2 mail pieces. Step 3 is propagate eye contact. Now, in my world and most of my clients, we use eye contact. We do not use constant contact. We're a little bit happier with eye contact. And in eye contact, all you do is you put in their first name and their last name and their email address. That's all that goes into eye contact. So that's step 3. Step 4 is that you do a little bit of preparation before you make the call. Maybe just about 30 seconds of intelligence gathering, what might be the key things you need to know about the client, so on and so forth. So a little bit of preparation. And again, in the article, it gives steps and specific things that you should be doing there. So step 4 is get prepared to make that call. But again, preparation doesn't mean 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or 15 minutes, or even a half a day. 30 seconds on some quick intelligence, make the call. Number 5 is make the call. And when you make the call, you have to kill immediately the 3 biggest fears that your client or prospect has when that phone rings. And again, for those 3 biggest fears, you need to go to the article and read it, because you can, if you're good and if you practice and put things into place, you can kill those fears within the first 3 to 10 seconds of that call if you will practice what I teach you to do at the beginning of that call to make that appointment. So make the call, and then what we're going to do is we're going to set the appointment. So right on the phone call, when you're speaking to them, you will have a conversation and you will agree to an appointment, and both of you will have your calendars out, and then you are going to effect that appointment through a tactical technology advantage that all of you have in your computers. And again, I'm going to direct you right back to that article that is free that you can go read, that is going to take you step by step by step on how to really tighten up that appointment and give you some key things as it relates to that. Okay, so we've gone through the first 6 steps. Here's number 7. The 7th step is, as soon as you conclude that phone call, you are going to send a PAL, P-A-L. PAL stands for pre-appointment letter. Now, you can do this a variety of ways, and again, it's back in the article, but you can email it to your client, and this pre-appointment letter is going to be short, brief, and concise. It's going to demand a little bit of respect because you're being precision-based, and it's going to tell that prospect or client exactly what they need to be prepared so that they can get a good, or a benefit from the appointment and spending time with you. In addition to that, it can be emailed or it can be mailed, and in my case, I like to do both. I like to send it to them via email, my pre-appointment letter, and then I mail it to them as well. So there's a third piece that goes out in the mail. And then the last thing is step number 8 is you will reconfirm the appointment using technology to your advantage the day before, the afternoon before the actual day. So usually 24 hours or 36 hours before the appointment date, you are going to use a tactic that is being taught in that article that will show you exactly how to confirm that appointment with that person by a click of a button, and they're going to click a button back to you to let you know how to do that. So the other thing I want to share with you, there's the 8 steps. Well, hey, you know what, let's run through them one more time. So number 1 is everybody goes into Outlook. Number 2, 2 mail pieces go out. Number 3, you're going to propagate eye contact, which is first name, last name, and their email address. Step number 4 is you're going to take less than 30 seconds to prepare to make the phone call. Number 5 is you're going to make the phone call and you're going to get the appointment. You're not going to sell, you're going to sell the appointment. Number 6 is you will set the appointment and you're going to use some technology to your advantage, and that technology is going to go to work for you. Number 7, you're going to turn around and immediately send out a pre-appointment letter, or what we call a PAL. And then number 8, you are going to do a technology click the day before that will reconfirm the appointment and keep everybody on the same page. So let's go back to just the sales call that I was on just 2 days ago in northern United States. And again, if that salesperson had followed these exact steps, that the client, who, by the way, wanted a precise time on the appointment, would have noticed that the address was incorrect and would have been able to fix that very, very simply. Okay, which would have saved a couple hours out of the day. And you know what? What's your value per hour? You know, if you're $300 or $300 an hour, there's $600 that would have been saved. So, just a couple things in closing here. Don't forget my book, Sales Mastery, available at any bookstore in North America and all electronic outlets: Barnes and Nobles, Books A Million, Nook, Kindle, Amazon. It's right here. It has a ton of that information and the specific steps in this book, so a great resource for you. In addition to that, I have over 50 free articles and over 30 free videos at chuckbauer.com. So no cost, you don't need to join anything. You can go in there and take a look at that stuff all day long. And for those of you that are watching this video on YouTube, just send me an email to chuck@chuckbauer.com. I'll be more than happy to send you the direct link to the 8 steps in earning a successful appointment. So with that, Godspeed, God bless, and good selling. Bye-bye for now.